Hey, it's Aaron from GameEnthus.com, and this time I'm checking out Hues and Cues, a guessing game of colors and clues by Scott Brady and published by The Op Games. Hues and Cues is a party game for 3 to 10 players, ages about 8 and up, plays about a half an hour, and it's a game where you are literally doing what the box says. You are guessing colors through words that are provided by someone you're playing with. I'm doing a great job at describing this. Anyway, this is the box. There's a lot of colors on it. So does the board. Let's jump right in and I'll explain how the game works. So this is the board in Hues and Cues. These are going to be players' guessing markers and scoring markers. This is the scoring track up here. This says Hues and Cues in case you forgot about the video that you were watching. And how could you do that? And this is called a scoring frame. You put it around the name of the game like so. And then you win. But that's not how the game works. And then you have a plethora of cards. I'll say the name of the game. Oh, this card is an ad. You don't use this card to play the game. I'm just gonna exit stage right. It didn't really go far enough. So, anyway. Each card, outside of the one you just saw, is going to have 4 colors on it, and those colors are going to correspond to coordinates. This says G27, so this color can be found in row G, column 27. Same color. And the same can be said for all of them. So I will now show you each card and its coordinates. And no, I'm kidding. I'm not going to do that. So in a game, players would, let's say we're playing a 3-player game. So we'll use pink. We'll use purple. And we will use blue. The rest of you just stay there and be quiet. Well, look busy. All right. So you would just shuffle these up. Shuffle up some of these cards. Pretend I did that with this one too. And there's going to be 2 different roles that players are going to be playing. There's going to be a cue giver, and there's going to be people who are guessers. So every player would put one of their scoring markers over here, essentially like 0. Nobody's done anything yet. You could just put the frame anywhere, but I'll just put it here, sort of on the board and off the board, and but halfway, so sort of a liminal moment there. But it's partially covering the S, but you can tell it's an S. I'm saying too much. Put these here. You see the tops of their heads. And part of the front, because we're angle the cameras in. The blue player is going to be the first player who's going to be the cue giver. Pink and purple are going to be the guessers. So the blue player would draw a card. Let's say they picked F24 as their color that they want everyone else to guess. And they're going to say something like their first clue I'm going to mix those up, can only be one word. So let's say the word they chose is Wonka. So at that point, pink and purple would place their marker on a color that they think goes along with that cue or clue. I needed to say cue to go with that cue. So let's say they pick, based on the word Wonka, they pick that one, purple picks that one, and pink goes ahead and picks this one. All right, at that point, now keep in mind, pink and purple will not be looking at the card, only the player one, the blue player, will be using that one. And at that point, the cue giver can now give a 2-word cue if they wish. So let's say they're hungry, they're thinking about something to eat, something quick and easy. They think of McDonald's, and they think of Grimace from McDonald's. And they say something like smiles opposite, which would be to Grimace. And then if they're playing with people who are of a certain age, based on maybe where they're from in the world, they might know, oh yeah, grimace, and they think, oh, okay, well that's something that's purple. So then I should also mention that the guessers also go in clockwise order. So purple would go again first, and based on Smile's opposite, which would be a frown, which might be, it might lead someone to grimace, which means to frown, which is ironic because it's such a happy character. Anyway, I digress. It can go both ways. It can be an advantage and a disadvantage to guess after the first person, because if everybody's crowding around something and there's people who kind of know colors better than you might kind of think, well, they know what they're talking about, they know what they're doing. So it can be interesting. So let's say they feel like, no, they want to do something different, so they're going to guess that. Okay, so everyone is guessed at that point. Okay, at that point, the blue player, or whoever the active player is, the cue giver, would take the scoring frame, and looking at where they are, they're not going to show it just yet. It's F24. They will make sure that this has F24 right in its center, which means it would be right here. So that's F24, dead center. Here's how the scoring works. And actually the scoring frame helps you. So let me just put that back down there again. So you have 2s on the inside of the scoring frame and then 1s on the outside. So the purple player scores absolutely nothing. They got nothing. How the scoring works is if the person guesses, whoever guesses the color exactly correct gets 3 points. So they would move their scoring marker up to 3. But the pink player got 1 scoring marker within the scoring frame, which means they would get 2 points. Anything around the actual color itself gets 2 points. 3 for getting it completely correctly, 2 for being right around it. And then if you look on the edge, there's 1s all around the frame there. Any player who got just outside the scoring frame will get 1 point. The cue giver will get 1 point for anyone who's within the frame. So they will get 1 point. Blue player gets 1 point. The pink player will get 2 points for having one inside the frame, but not the exact answer. And then an additional point for being just outside the frame. They will get 3 points. And the purple player, sadly, will have to try again. So the game gives an opportunity for the person who's giving the cues to score. And obviously everybody who's guessing can have an opportunity to score as well. So typically in a 4 to 6 player game, everybody might go twice, be the cue giver twice, and then guess all the other rounds. And I think in maybe 7 to 10 player games, everybody probably go around once being the cue giver, and whoever has the highest score within the game wins the game. And that is Hues and Cues. So what are my thoughts? I put this down on the table some time ago with my family, and we had a blast playing this thing. It's really easy to set up. You just put the board out, put the cards out. It sets up in like 2 seconds. It's really easy to explain. Now, we had a lot of fun with this game. And you might think that people who are much better at differentiating colors have an advantage, which they might, but because you have 2 guesses and you can also put your guess marker next to someone who you think has better judgment than you, you can just go right next to them. Now, if they end up being exactly correct, they get 3 points, but you might get 2 or might get 1 or what have you. So there are some mitigating factors, I feel like, that can help people who may not be as good at guessing colors. So that being said, because I play with people who really don't know colors very well. Everybody kind of did. The people who thought they would do horribly did much better than they thought. And the people that we all kind of thought would win didn't. So it can kind of go either way. That's anecdotal, but anyway. Anyway, that's Hues and Cues. Aaron recommends. Hues and Cues is a fun party game. Upon looking at the gameplay of what you do, you already know if you're interested in this thing. So there you go. Anyway, that's going to do it for me. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Give it a like, thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already. Yeah. Have a great week, whatever week you watch this in. Take care, stay safe, and be blessed.